Listen, you said yes to something last week that made you physically sick. You smiled, you agreed, you went along with it. And that night you went home and hated yourself again. You're not a nice guy, you're a coward. And the worst part? The people you're protecting with your silence don't even respect you for it. Someone suggests a plan you don't want. Everyone looks at you. Your stomach drops. And instead of saying that doesn't work for me, you hear yourself say sure, sounds great. And you smile while part of you disappears. Someone asks you for something that eats into your time, your money, your peace. You know the answer is no. But you run the calculation. What if they get upset? What if they think I'm difficult? What if they don't like me? And you fold. Every single time. You're not angry at them, you're angry at yourself. Because you know that if you keep saying yes to things you mean no to, you will resent every single person you're trying to please. And you're already there, aren't you? I'm not going to tell you to practice assertiveness or use I statements. That's therapy speak for people who want to feel better about not changing. Here's what nobody tells you. People-pleasing is not a communication problem. It's a fear-based identity. And until you understand that, every tip you find online will fail you inside of a week. Today I'm giving you 5 steps, the no calibration protocol. Not how to be more assertive, a tiered system that rebuilds your ability to refuse, starting with 0 consequence reps and ending with the conversations you've been avoiding for years. Execute all 5, in order. 1. Run the resentment audit. You can't fix the bleeding if you don't know where the wounds are. Resentment is a psychological diagnostic tool. It signals a boundary that should exist but doesn't. Research in emotion regulation shows that chronic resentment tracks directly with habitual compliance behavior. Your resentment isn't weakness, it's data. Grab a notebook right now, not later. Write down the last 5 times you felt resentful after helping someone. Next to each one, write what you wish you'd said instead. And here's what that list is going to show you. Every single entry is a place you abandoned yourself. Resentment doesn't lie. Your mouth does. 2. Name the real fear. You think you say yes because you're a good person. That's the lie keeping you trapped. People-pleasing is clinically recognized as the fawn response, a survival mechanism built into people who learned early that disapproval was dangerous. You're not generous. You're running a threat response that's 10 years old. You cannot override a fear response with willpower alone. You have to name it first. Look at each item on your resentment list. Complete this sentence out loud. I said yes because I was afraid that if I said no, blank. The blank will be one of these: rejection, conflict, being disliked, being abandoned, being seen as difficult. That answer is your actual enemy, not the situation. Kindness that comes from fear isn't kindness. It's self-betrayal dressed up in a smile. 3. The low-stakes no. 7 days of reps. Your no muscle hasn't been used in years. You can't deadlift 300 pounds your first session. Behavioral science is clear. Fear responses shrink through repeated graduated exposure. You are not going to fix 20 years of people-pleasing with one hard boundary. You need reps in a safe environment first. For the next 7 days, say no only to 0 consequence requests. Waiter offers dessert you don't want. No thanks. Friend suggests a movie you hate. Not feeling it. Coworker offers coffee. I'm good. No explanations. No apologies. Just the refusal and silence. But here's where most men stop, and it's the exact reason the whole system breaks down. They think small no's are beneath them. They're not. They're the foundation. You don't train for the fight by stepping into the ring first. 4. Build the identity bridge. Tactical no's don't stick without an identity to anchor them to. Identity behavior congruence is one of the most consistent findings in behavioral psychology. You always act in line with how you fundamentally see yourself. If your identity is I'm someone who doesn't upset people, every boundary you try to set will feel like a betrayal of your own character. You don't have a behavior problem. You have a self-concept problem. Write this down and read it every morning for 14 days. I am a man who respects his own time, energy, and values. This is not an affirmation. It's a correction. You are overwriting corrupted software. Every day you complete a low-stakes no, put a mark next to it. Evidence builds identity. You cannot hold a boundary you don't believe you deserve. 5. Deploy the mid-stakes no. Real life doesn't happen at the waiter's table. It happens with your boss, your friends, your family, the people whose approval you've been buying for years. Codependency psychology calls this a covert contract. You give compliance. You expect safety and belonging in return. When you break the contract, Your nervous system reads it as a survival threat. That is why just say no always fails. You're not overcoming rudeness, you're overcoming a biological alarm. The alarm will fire. You proceed anyway. Identify one mid-stakes situation this week, a real ask from someone whose opinion matters to you. Plan your refusal before it happens. Rehearse it out loud. Use exactly this script. That doesn't work for me. No explanation, no apology, no filler. Deliver it. Then go completely silent. Hold your ground. Every time you collapse under pressure, you add another debt to your self-respect ledger. And the compound interest is brutal. The most important word you'll ever say is the no that finally sticks. These 5 steps aren't about becoming aggressive. They're not about being difficult. They're about building a man whose yes means something, because his no is real. Every time you execute one of these steps, you're making a deposit into who you actually are. And one day, not long from now, you'll realize you stopped going home and hating yourself because the man in the mirror finally kept his word. The people who are angry that you've learned to say no, they were never on your side. They were on your compliance. Comment one word below, the name of the fear you found in step 2. Just one word. That's your first act of honesty with yourself. Subscribe, because this channel doesn't sell motivation. We build men.